Hello students, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is class number 5 of lesson AC currents. Hope the previous concepts what I have discussed in the previous sessions all of you understood. And just for recall purpose, in last 4 sessions I have discussed right from basics like different waveforms of AC and how to represent an AC source, followed by basic terminology related to AC currents such as what is instantaneous current, peak current or voltage you can say, frequency, what do you mean by cycle, and followed by I've discussed about 2 basic definitions such as RMS and average the current or voltage, and given the values such as IRMS and I average equal in terms of peak current or voltages. For example, I average is equal to 2 I naught by pi, whereas IRMS is equal to I naught by root 2, like the formulas is given, and followed by given the relation between the average current as well as the peak current, and average current versus RMS also given. And next I went with phases. What is meaning of phasor? And just recall the definitions yourself so that it will be practice for you. Once if you come into the actual college sessions, it will be easy for you in the preparation. So followed by phasors and phasor diagrams are mentioned. Once phasor diagrams got over, using the phasor diagrams, I started deriving the relation between what I can say AC current and voltage in the case of different circuits. Taking some 3 current elements are taken. One is pure resistance, followed by pure inductance, followed by pure capacitance. So in the case of pure resistance, you got a conclusion like and phase angle between the current and voltage is 0 degree. What does it mean? Both AC current and voltage are in phase when a resistor is used as a circuit, pure resistor. Followed by when you use an inductance or inductor, you can say inductance is a property inductor. If you use, you got an expression as there is a phase angle availability between around 90 between voltage and the current, where voltage was leading, current was lagging in case of inductor. The same situation got occurred in capacitor, whereas current got lead, whereas voltage got lag. So make sure this much clarity all of you should have. If everything is clear, then in the current topic I will go with the basic differences first. In the next section I will go with the derivation part. So let us recall the definitions first of all, some definitions in order to deal with the differences in the current session. So while discussing the relation between AC voltage and the AC current in case of a pure inductor circuit, what are the expressions? V is equal to V naught sin omega t was the initial voltage given from the source, where current you got it as I is equal to I naught sin omega t minus pi by 2. So this is in the case of pure inductor circuit, symbol is L. In the case of capacitor circuit, if you see capacitor circuit, instantaneous voltage was given as V is equal to V naught sin omega t, where current is given as I is equal to I naught sin omega t plus pi by 2. This was the conclusion we got. So both the derivations, hope you are all having clarity. Now from this, one thing is clear. In this case, voltage leads, current lags, since it was a symbol minus. And in this case, voltage lags, current leads, since here plus symbol is given. Now, while deriving these 2 expressions, in the case of inductor derivation, I have introduced a term known as XL. Whereas in the case of capacitor, I have introduced a term called XC. Hope you remember the name. What the name is? Inductive reactance. Where here it is capacitive reactance. Now, today's session, what is the meaning of reactance and resistance? Both are similar meanings, but the differentiation in the term will give some meaning that I'll let you know. Now, after understanding these two terms, you got the formulas also as omega L, where omega can be taken as 2 pi FL. Where in the case of XC, the formula taken as 1 divided by omega C, that is equal to 1 divided by 2 pi FC. Now, we shall discuss about what is the actual meaning of resistance and reactance first, then I'll go with the differences between these. So, let us go for the first difference column. So, what are the first differences here? Resistance versus reactance. So, make sure resistance, reactance, while operating mechanism, if you take, both are same, but both will occur in different situations. So let us recall the definition of resistance from the lesson current electricity. You take a conductor. You know, conductor is made up of molecules, and molecules are made up of atoms. These atoms, assume this is a conductor. You know, conductor is nothing but a substance which will carry electricity. Then the atoms inside the conductor will not be in the rest condition. The reason, because of the thermal agitation, means they absorb the energy from the surroundings in terms of heat energy, and the atoms will be in vibration state. When you allow some current through this conductor, while the electrons drifting is nothing but motion of the free electrons under the influence of electric field. While drifting of the electrons, they were subject to the collision from the neighboring atoms. Then the opposition which is offered from the neighboring atoms against the flow of the electrons when a DC source is given. You know, DC and AC, I will discuss at the beginning of the lesson. When a DC source is given across the conductor, the opposition is called resistance. Same mechanism is occurred through the same conductor, like opposition offered by atoms of the conductor against the flow of electrons when an AC source is connected across the conductor. First case DC source, second case AC source, then the opposition is called as reactance. Make sure this is also opposition, this is also opposition. Against what? Against the flow of charges, against the flow of charges. But this situation comes, or this term is used when the opposition is offered due to a DC source. For instance, when DC source is connected, and this situation is taken into account when an AC source is connected. So that was the first difference. So you can take first difference as resistance is opposition offered by atoms of the conductor against flow of charges when a DC current flows through the conductor. Reactance is the opposition offered by the atoms of the conductor against the flow of charges, or you can say free electrons, when an AC current flowing through the conductor. So that was the first difference. Hope you understood. So that is mentioned in study material, you can refer it. So second difference, DC source doesn't have any frequency because cycles are there. You know, AC cycle. So cycles are there. Then you can find a term called frequency. Number of cycles happening in unit time, or you can say per second, is called frequency. Since DC current is a steady current, so the DC current looks like this. So this is AC and this is DC, steady current, parallel to x-axis. In that case, there is no frequency. So frequency will not affect the resistance. That was the second difference. There is no any relation between the resistance and the frequency. But coming to reactance, the frequency of the current will affect the reactance. For example, here you see, in the case of inductor, I have given a term called inductive reactance. Here inductive reactance depends upon the term F. Make sure if F increases, what happens to the inductive reactance? Increases. If you come across the capacitor reactance, with respect to Xc, frequency is in denominator, So if F increases, capacitive reactance decreases. So like reactance term will get affected with variation of the frequency of AC. So these are the two major differences you can come across with resistance and the reactance. So next, what are the major differences between inductive reactance and capacitive reactance? So that is the second difference one. So very first one. So you can take the first difference as a definition. So what I told during the derivation, XL, the term called inductive reactance. So reactance is just now I told it's opposition, but opposition due to what? Inductor. When there is an AC. So you can start defining like this. Inductive reactance is the opposition offered by an inductor when an AC current flows through it. Similarly, coming to capacitive reactance. Capacitive reactance is the opposition offered by a capacitor when an AC current flows through it. So hope you understood about the definitions. So second one. So here inductive reactance is given by formula 2 pi FL, whereas so first one is definition, here also saying XC is taken as 1 by 2 pi FC as per the given formula. If you have any doubt with this, you can see my previous video where I have introduced the term omega L as XL. In the case of capacitor circuit derivation, 1 by omega C I took as XC. So this is what the second definition difference. Now if you see in the given formula, this XL term depends upon two things. F known as frequency of AC, L is known as value of the inductance. Similarly, XC depends upon two things. One is F known as frequency of AC, C is known as value of the capacitance, whereas 2 and pi are the constants, so there is no any variation. Now from this one conclusion you can take, if L increases, I mean value of the inductance increases, what about XL? Also increases. So from this what you can write is XL is directly proportional to the value of the inductance. With increase in the self-inductance, value of the inductive reactance also increases. If you compare the same kind of property right side, where X is in numerator and C is in denominator, so from this what is the conclusion? With increase in the capacitance, capacitive reactance will decrease. If C increases, Xc will decrease. So that was the difference number 3. Now here, difference number 4. You just give the relation between these two, XL and F. So you can write directly as XL is directly proportional to F. What does it mean? With increase in the frequency of AC, inductive reactance will increase. Here, Xc is inversely proportional to F. That means with increase in the frequency of AC, capacitive reactance will decrease, or vice versa. With the decrease in the frequency, capacitive reactance will increase. So based on this, I will give one more definition, which is the difference which is not available in the material. Inductor acts like a closed circuit for DC. Capacitor acts like an open circuit for DC. Both the DC I am taking. You know, closed circuit and open circuit. Closed circuit is a circuit in which current flows easily. Open circuit is a circuit in which current is zero. Best example, switch off is open circuit, switch on is a closed circuit. Now the question is, with decrease in the frequency you take, this 0.5 I am explaining based on this. If frequency decreases and made as 0, now frequency 0 means what kind of current that is? DC. So here I mentioned frequency 0. So this kind of current will get straight away, a line which is parallel to x-axis. Such DC current if you take, for this frequency is how much? 0. Since frequency 0, then what happens to the value of XL? It becomes 0, nothing but opposition from the inductor for DC is 0. If opposition is 0, the current can go very easily. So current can go easily, then the situation is called closed circuit. So that is what the topic is supposed to understand. Whereas coming to the case of capacitor, for DC current, the frequency is how much? 0. Anything by 0 is infinity. The same thing if you substitute 0 here, Xc will become infinite. I mean, a capacitor connected across a DC source doesn't contribute any kind of current. I mean, from the battery, no amount of current will flow through the capacitor. So that is the difference in the case of this one with respect to capacitor. So last one. According to Ohm's law, resistance, V is equal to IR. Then R is equal to V by I. So that is in the case of resistance. Same thing you can apply in the case of reactance also. X, which is now reactance, is equal to Vrms by IRMS. Why I am taking RMS means, see here, everything will count over the full cycle. So in order to get the full cycle, we want to take only RMS. We cannot take the average. Because if you take the average over the full cycle, it becomes 0. Now how to define inductive reactance in another way? Inductive reactance is a ratio between RMS voltage to that of the RMS current through an inductor. Similar way, Xc, known as capacitive reactance. How to define it? It's a ratio between RMS voltage to the RMS current through a capacitor. So hope you understood about the differences. So majorly, you just recall these formulas. If you know these formulas, these differences are very easy. Among definition you know very well. And how this inductive reactance and capacitive reactance depend upon the frequency, and inductance and capacitance separately. And followed by the basic definition in terms of RMS voltage and RMS current. And before that, resistance and reactance. I will recall this once again. This is during DC, this is during AC. Here, frequency will not show any sort of impact. Here, frequency varies, reactance also will varies. So this is the major differences between inductive reactance and capacitive reactance. And what are the similarities you can find? Both are oppositions. That's one common similarity. Both have same SI, ohm. There isn't any other difference. Both are oppositions. Both having same SI. Since SI are same, dimension formulas also same. Hope these concepts you are understood. So in the next session, I will go with a derivation called a relation between AC voltage and AC current in case of combined circuits. So among combined circuits, we have many. One is known as RL, resistance versus inductance. Next is RC, resistance versus capacitance. Next LC, inductance versus capacitance. Next combination, LCR. So in this, RL and RC are out of syllabus, where LC and LC are in the syllabus that I will discuss in the next sessions. So thank you for the session.